The Foolish Barber, a story about kindness, wisdom, and the danger of blind imitation. Have you ever truly believed, that the people around you would stand by your side no matter what? That when everything you worked for began to crumble, when the ground beneath your feet gave way, anyone would reach out a hand and say, "Don't worry, I'm here." Manipadra believed that he believed it with all his heart, and for many years he had every reason to. Long ago, in a prosperous city called Patliputra, there lived a merchant named Manipadra. His name was known far beyond the city walls. In crowded marketplaces, traders spoke of him with admiration. In narrow streets, common folk mentioned him with gratitude. In countless homes, his generosity was remembered with warmth. Manipadra was not merely rich, he was immensely wealthy. He owned vast stretches of fertile land, fleets of cargo ships that sailed across distant seas, and a grand mansion near the heart of the city. Its gates were always open, its halls always filled with voices, laughter, and the gentle rhythm of hospitality. Yet, despite his wealth, Manipadra was not arrogant. He had worked tirelessly from a young age and had known struggle before comfort. Pride never found a place in his heart. By his side stood his wife Gayatri, a woman admired not for wealth but for wisdom. Thoughtful and observant, she possessed quiet strength. Where Manipadra trusted easily, she reflected deeply. Together they made a remarkable pair. No visitor ever left their home empty-handed. Some were offered food, some clothes, others money or gifts, and a few were even given land to cultivate. During festivals and celebrations, Manipadra and Gayatri invited entire neighborhoods, sometimes the whole town, and treated everyone with dignity and warmth. One evening, as guests laughed and ate in the courtyard, Manipadra turned to his wife and said proudly, "See, Gayatri, we have so many wishes. As long as these people are with us, we will never go hungry or homeless." Gayatri smiled gently, but concern lingered in her eyes. "You are too innocent," she replied softly. "You give without expecting anything in return. That is noble, but remember, many people come here because of what we give them, not because of who we are." Manipadra laughed and dismissed her words. "They are our people. They will never abandon us." Gayatri said nothing more. She knew life would teach the lesson soon enough. One summer morning, everything changed. News arrived that Manipadra's cargo ships had been lost at sea, not delayed, not damaged, but lost forever. Days turned into weeks as searches were made and sailors questioned, but the ships never returned. With them sank years of investment, trade goods, and promises made to customers who had already paid in advance. Manipadra now owed a great deal of money. At first, he remained confident. "My friends will help me," he said. One by one, he went to those who had once sat at his table and praised his generosity. One by one, he was turned away. Some claimed troubles of their own, some said their wealth was tied up elsewhere, and some avoided him altogether. When Manabhadra returned home one evening, his shoulders were heavy. "Did you find anyone to help us?" Gayatri asked quietly. "No," he replied. "Everyone seems to be struggling." Gayatri understood the truth, but chose silence. Manabhadra sold his land, then more land, and finally his magnificent mansion. At last he paid off his debts, but the wealth was gone. The merchant who once owned fleets now worked on another man's fields. The woman who once hosted nobles now taught children in a small school. They lived in a small house at the edge of town. Yet something remarkable remained unchanged. They were still kind. Though they could no longer offer gold or lavish meals, they welcomed at least one guest each day, sharing whatever little they had along with warm words and sincere smiles. Time passed, and slowly the visitors stopped coming. People who once greeted Manabhadra with respect now walked past him without a glance. One night, the truth finally reached his heart. "You were right, Gayatri," he said softly. "They were never our friends." She placed a gentle hand on his and replied, "Just because others fail us does not mean we must fail ourselves. Your honesty will be rewarded someday." But Manabhadra could no longer believe it. Overcome by guilt and despair, he fell asleep with tears in his eyes. That night, in his dream, a monk appeared. The monk spoke calmly and said, "Do not lose heart. You are not foolish." "I am," Manabhadra replied. "I trusted blindly." "Foolish," said the monk, "is the one who acts without understanding the whole truth. What happened to you was fate, not stupidity." The monk then gave him strange instructions. "Tomorrow I will come to your door in this same form. Touch the back of my head with a stick, and I will turn into a pot of gold. But remember, strike no other monk, or you will be punished." Manabhadra woke suddenly, his heart racing. Was it only a dream? The next morning, a knock came at the door. A monk stood there. With trembling hands, Manabhadra followed the instructions, and before his eyes, the monk transformed into a great pot of gold. Fortune had returned. Hidden nearby, a barber witnessed everything. "That's easy," the barber thought. "All I need is a stick and a monk." The next day, he lured monks into his home and struck them. Chaos followed. The monks screamed and fled. Townspeople rushed in, and anger filled the streets. The barber was driven out of the city forever. Gayatri watched silently as justice unfolded. "The monk was right," she said. "Foolish is the one who copies actions without understanding their meaning." Manabhadra nodded. He had learned at last that true wisdom lies not in imitation, but in understanding. Moral kindness without wisdom invites trouble. Blind imitation leads to destruction. True rewards come to those who act with honesty and understanding.